Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, how's
Hi
it?
people, welcome to our channel. Welcome back.
Welcome back to our channel. This is Debu and I'm not alone. I am with
Nosy.
my queen. Really?
I like that.
You don't even know what you are.
I was still thinking of like a nice name or
A
something.
nice name. Queen, sure.
That's why I was like.
Anywho, so we've not been around. We've been away.
It's been a while since we've recorded.
Why?
Yeah, life has been just life. It's been hitting us hard. We've been adulting.
Tough times.
Yeah.
Tough times. So, a quick background on we've been adulting.
Topic rather.
Or-
Today, we want to talk about relationshiping.
Wow. Relationshiping. Wow.
Yes, while broke. How we relate to each other. How we keep the relationship going as we experience some financial problems.
But I would assume for you, from your side alone, I know from my side there were times when it was very difficult.
Yeah.
And I know that there's research out there that says the number one cause for divorce and separation is mostly finances.
Yeah.
Which, when one partner does not work, it then really does affect the household. It does affect the relationship. So guys, quick story. When we met, we were both broke because we were just finishing with school. She was still a student. I had like a few months being done with school, but then we were both not employed, and it was a fun time. It was nice.
That's not the kind of broke we're talking about.
No, because we did not have everything else that we have now.
We had nothing. Just to share a pie and apple juice and stuff.
Everything.
From like my lunch money.
Yes.
So that was okay. That's another
That was great. And now.
But now.
We've grown up. And certain things have changed.
Having financial problems when you have a whole lot of responsibilities and
things that you want to accomplish, goals that have been set. And so, quick question to you. What has been your experience throughout this time?
So,
the good, the bad, the tiring,
everything. The whole thing is tiring. So, did you talk about the background?
What background?
Okay, so this guy, right here, he lost his job, right? Beginning of the year.
Yeah, yes.
And so it's been a bit tough on us.
Rough.
Being the only one who's working. Although we've been hustling here and there, making money here
making needs here and there, but we were used to something consistent, something that that you've got a paycheck every month. You know that you've got something you're looking forward to every month, and then all of a sudden that entire life changes. And like anyone would know that if you earn a certain amount of money, your lifestyle is around that. And now all of a sudden that cushion that you had where you knew that you consistently had something coming in every month is no longer there.
Yeah.
Now my question to you is, how did you do it?
Well, initially, I was okay because I'm mostly a positive person. Well, I like to think so. Maybe you disagree. I'm mostly a positive person. I just know that everything is gonna work out. We have different seasons in life. Even though things can be dark, but the light will always come back. So that's what was, carrying me. I was okay. He's gonna get a new job soon. But then months passed and things are just not happening. Bills are piling up. Now suddenly I have to start borrowing from friend number 1 to friend number 2 to friend number 3, and at the end of the month you're just starting that cycle all over again. So it becomes tough, right? Actually, I don't know when it became tough. It was just tough, dude. Not having money, it's just tough. When you see a sweet and you can't even afford a sweet, it's tough. It's like there's nothing I can say. Like, I wasn't coping. It's just an everyday experience. Like, you just take it as it comes.
So
How did you cope?
So, to be very honest with you, it has been difficult. I mean, there are days where you would tell me that you are craving something, and I know that we never thought of thinking if we spend this amount of money, we would have to find alternatives. It was just that I feel like doing this, and then it was done.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, like I say, that cushion has been taken away from you. So, as a man, I think most guys can relate to this. As a man, if you do not work, you start doubting yourself, you start doubting a whole lot of things, you start doubting even the actual existence of the relationship, you start looking at things like, are you still respected the way that you were when the finances came? Do you still love me the way that you loved me? Do you still tolerate certain behaviors that I have that you used to be okay with? And somehow, in as much as you say you are positive, there is something that just happens, because when you want certain things and are not able to do those things, certain negative feelings surface, and sometimes we voice out our frustrations toward each other, because there were times where you and I would fight over things that normally, under normal circumstances, I don't think we would fight over. And this is why some of those things today, we look back and we think to ourselves, how did we even end up fighting over that? It does not make a lot, especially having history of the way that you and I deal with things. So it does change the dynamics of the relationship. But I think more than anything, you need to just, we also tried that thing where we allowed each other to be frustrated at different times, where you're like, okay, I think she's more frustrated than I am, so let me keep my frustrations. I think more than anything, as difficult as it was, having the right partner in your life makes the situation slightly better, because then they're not adding to the stresses. Because you and I did not have relationship issues within this time. We had financial issues that surfaced in other things. This is why now that you and I are okay, we are able to say, actually, we shouldn't have fought over this.
Yeah. I think, for me, what I had to realize is I don't have to put on the, I like to say I'm a positive person, right? And sometimes I grab that too much and forget that you need to feel, like, just because you're feeling disappointed or you're feeling hurt does not mean you're not positive. So that was something I had to learn during this journey, that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be disappointed whenever something is not going your way or whatever. It's actually healthier to go through that emotion, feel it and let it out. And then just remember that this is it's a season. But also, specifically coming to the relationship, remember, we always have to remember that you are going through this thing. Like, we need to separate the relationship from what's the happening, circumstances, two things.
Yes.
So I think one of the things that we did was actually underestimate the circumstance. It was like, our relationship is
stronger,
so we can, and then we actually did not do the work we needed to do to keep it handled, keep that circumstance handled. Does that make sense? So I think that was one of the things that we learned, that, and I feel like maybe it's gonna help us in future as
we progress in this life.
Yeah, I think we're always gonna come across challenges in life, even relationship challenges, and so we must always remember that we need to attend to that challenge. It's almost like a wound or something. You just have to keep every day. Like, life has changed just because you've had this wound, so you have to clean it up. Put a plaster, bandage, whatever the case may be, every single day, right? So that everything else can continue being healthy.
So, basically, one, we are strong because we are where we are now. But I think that's the biggest thing. Most of the time when people go through financial issues, they tend not to speak or rather voice out what they're truly feeling, which then adds to the frustrations where you keep quiet about whatever that's frustrating you. You keep quiet about the fact that now you need to make sure that we've got petrol to go to work, we've got food to eat, we need to, and these things are really heavy on you, especially if you're coming from a place where everything was just comfortable, things were happening. Well, they were not really that comfortable. However, it was easier. And now all of a sudden it feels as if the weight is all on your shoulder. Now, the next question would be, what did we do then to move from a place where we were frustrated about finances and everything else that was happening in life, and remember that there is, like you said, we are a separate entity from everything else that's happening in our lives. You've got Nosy, the career woman, you've got Dave who does his other things that he does on the side, or rather whatever. The same way that we are able to separate those things, how are we then able to say, this is our relationship, this is what's happening, this is an attack that is on our relationship? How did we then get to a place where we found our way to each other? When I say we found our way to each other, we never separated. However, there was that thing that this is how I feel, this is how I feel. And there's a time when we were both frustrated about certain things, some instances where I voiced out my frustration on you, where you voiced out your frustration on me. How did we then move from that place that says we are frustrated to being solid?
Honestly, it's no good advice or anything. We didn't do it. We had a quarrel. It was a very big quarrel, and we allowed our emotions to take us, and we both did not like how we felt at that moment,
and how we made the next person feel.
And in that moment, we remembered who we are, what we stand for, our vision,
and
our objectives. So I think it is important for every relationship to have goals, to have a vision for your relationship, because that, even though things can become tough,
values never change.
You'll get to moments where you remember that, no, this is not us, this is not what we stand for, or so yeah, that's how we got back to this place. We immediately remembered, and as soon as, thing is, when you have a vision or you have a goal, you're looking forward towards something, then your behavior, your speech, everything that you do is going towards that. So because we had forgotten about it for a moment, we started, going all out, separate ways and everything. But as soon as we remembered it, we went straight back into, the way in which we behave and our attitudes and stuff.
So what you're saying then aligns with something that we've said before. If you're in a relationship, you need to know why you're there. You need to have something that you're working towards. You need to have a vision in which the relationship is functioning under. It then helps and guides everyone, and it also puts that responsibility to say, if this fails, it means that I'm not doing my part. Or personally, it opens up that space where you can be open with yourself and be truthful to what you are going through at this particular time. So,
nonetheless, guys, we're too serious. We're too serious.
But finances are serious.
Yeah, they are serious. But you still have another point?
Yeah, quick advice.
Okay.
Quick advice. I think even the time that we did have money coming in, if we did certain things differently, things would not have been as hard as they've been. Like, for one, I know now that yes, we need to plan well ahead with our money. Like, right now we've got alternatives in which we know that we'll have some sort of source of income, which is something that when there's money coming in, you relax, you are lazy-daisy about it. So find that something where you can have passive income, invest, start a business, even if it's something that's small. Start something that you know that should something happen, you always have something to fall back on.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah,
that's it for today.
It's a long video, but it's fine.
Let us know if you've gone through like the same thing, if you've gone through worse, because there are worse situations, you know.
Drop us a text.
Comment down there. Hit the subscribe button.
Whatever you probably want us to talk about. If you liked
this video.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it from us, Nosy and Tebu.
Signing out.